Hey guys, Rhys back with another SimCity 5 how-to, and this time I'm going to be having a little how-to on starting up a electronic city. This is one of the main specializations that you can go for when starting up a city. This goes hand in hand with like trading and also education, because you do need the more higher educated people to be able to get these factories upgraded. Which all plays a factor in actually being able to get the electronic factories, creating the processor chips by the end of it. So yeah, as you see, I started this video sort of like halfway in my city getting developed, and that's mainly because these like electronic cities, they take quite a while to like actually get started. I mean, I was playing in cheater speed like pretty much the whole time, and it took me about an hour and a half to be able to get it up to the stage what you'll see me at the end of the video. So also I plop down a school and I get the Department of Education as soon as possible. This is because you need the Department of Education to get the like higher education, such as the colleges and the high schools, which you need the colleges at least to be able to get the medium tech industries in your city, which you need for the electronics plants and that sort of stuff. So now I'm just upgrading my school. You need to get at least 500 people enrolled. I'm pretty sure, that's just off the top of my head, but I think it's 500 people to be able to get the high school, which is obviously the next step up in the ladder in the whole education sense. You just saw me also putting up a fire station and upgrading that quite a bit, and that's mainly because whenever you've got factories in your city, fires come hand in hand with that, and you want to obviously stop the fires. You want to keep the factories like all very happy and like sustained for like a long time, so they got like places to ship their freights. That's why I'm now upgrading to be able to give them a place to store their freights, and you just want to keep them happy so they don't abandon them, so they'll be able to upgrade into the higher tech industries like as soon as possible, like when you've got the higher education in the city that you need for those to be upgraded. Also, you'll now see me getting quite a few school buses. This is just to help along with the whole fact of getting more people into the school. You might find it being a little slow at the start. As you can see, I've only got 180 students enrolled of like the possible 1,000 people that I could have stored. So getting more school buses and also those libraries that you just saw me put down, they all help with getting more people into the whole education sort of thing, and like getting more people to go to the school, which is obviously what you want to be able to get that upgrade onto the high school, like I said earlier. So also a main thing that I noticed was you'll obviously want to get the second department will be the Department of Utilities. This is so you can get your recycling centre. That plays like a later part in this whole looking at the electronic city sort of thing, but you need the recycling centre. I'll explain a bit more later. You just saw me upgrade the hospital. It's not actually called the hospital, but that's what we're calling it. It's, that sort of thing. The clinic, that's it. So you just saw me upgrade the clinic so people don't get sick. You want to keep everybody happy to obviously be getting this 15,000 population that you need to upgrade to get the Department of Utilities. Also, I just upgraded and got the high school. So that's a very good thing. And now you see me using the Department of Utilities, which I already had in a different city, luckily, so I was able to just use a different, like, get a different department. It had, like, no relevance to actually this getting the electronic city. If you don't already have the Department of Utilities, then I suggest that's your second upgrade, but I didn't get that as my second upgrade personally. And but the Department of Utilities is definitely a very vital one. You'll see that needed in most big cities, because obviously the sewage and the water and maybe possibly the power won't be substantial enough without getting the Department of Utilities. You probably only have to worry about the power if you're doing wind power, but that's because that's a bit shitty. So yeah, now I just put down the college, community college, and around that sort of like area of which you got the community college, that's where the factories will hopefully start upgrading to higher techs, and that's obviously something very important for this playthrough. As you can see, I don't know what I actually went for this new department. I think it was possibly the Department of Transportation. I don't know. We're gonna see in a second, but yeah, that's only because I already had the Department of Utilities, like I said. Oh no, it was the Department of Safety. Yeah. Yeah. So also another thing that you want to make sure is that you regularly check the factories. Like, you can do that by just like clicking on the factories, and you'll see what will make them happy and unhappy, the workers of the like factory and like the factory's owners themselves. This all plays the part in the whole making sure they don't like just abandon the factory because they haven't either got enough people working there, the people are sick all the time, or like the people, or you don't have like any place to ship the freights. You want to just be like clicking on some random factories, because like normally they'll determine what all the other factories are thinking anyway, and just see what makes them unhappy at that moment in time, and you'll want to try and sort that out as best you can, because the longer you have the factory running for, the quicker it's gonna be getting up to the higher techs when you do put that community college down, and you do start getting the higher educated people to be able to run these factories. And if you did watch my last how-to for mining, I got a tornado disaster, and this time I got a earthquake disaster. I mean, these disasters seem to be popping up more and more frequently. I'm not sure if they just don't like me doing these how-tos or something like that, but every time I've done a how-to so far, I know I've only done 2, but yeah, I've had to deal with a disaster in my city. So now you will see me putting down the electronic factory to get all the process and that sort of stuff. And soon after, you want to be getting your recycling centre, like you'll now see me doing. And it might take them a little while to start actually picking up the recycled bins and that sort of stuff. You're not like doing anything wrong. It's just, it does take a little while from it going from garbage to recycling, and that's like the people recycling. And obviously only the higher educated sims do recycle, so this all plays a part in getting the education and that sort of stuff. So I like how everything sort of bounces off each other in this sort of game. It's like you need the higher education for people to recycle, for being able to get the plastics and alloys, and then you need the plastics and alloys to be able to go into the electronic thing to make the processors. But you also need the people smart enough to be able to upgrade the factories to be able to get the electronic factories in the first place, you know what I mean? So yeah, everything sort of plays off each other, and I really like that about this game. So now I'm just getting like a hell of a load of garbage trucks, so that obviously we can pick up more recycled stuff and send that over to the electronic factory. Also, I have I have one trade depot, what I probably showed you earlier, and that's importing stuff like the plastics and the alloys for the factory. So I decided to get that, obviously, just to make up for time in between getting the recycling centre and building that electronic factory for the processor chips. I don't actually know what it's called, so I'm calling them the electronic factory, but I'm sure I'll be told differently. You can either get the trade depot importing the stuff through, like, after you get the recycling centre or before you get the recycling centre. But it's like really depends on how much money you've got, because I mean, if you only got like say 50k in the bank and it's going to take you ages to get up to the 111,000 I think it is to be able to get the recycling centre, then maybe you'll want to just make a trade depot to get those resources through a bit quicker. Now you can see me just changing up a few things about this trade depot that I got at the start, and this just simply saves space, because you are going to have a lot of or you're going to have very little space, should I say, coming to like the end of most cities where you got the specializations and that sort of stuff. So you can always save a bit of space by changing the one factory to change the one factory from, like, obviously storing all those freights and that, which we had a lot of demand for at the start, because obviously a lot of people were producing freights, but now that everybody's upgraded their technology and like they got higher tech factories, there's less demand for freight. So I thought I'd get rid of a few freight storages, and you can always add on a few electronic storages, which is where we're at now. So that's always a little tip for you guys. If you find yourself running out of room and you can't really afford another trade depot, then you can always do that. And here's the trade depot that I was talking about, where you can do it either before or after getting the recycling centre. I got this actually before my recycling centre, just because I didn't have enough money to be able to buy the recycling centre at that point in time. But like I said, you can also get it after if you do have the money and you're just waiting for people to start recycling a bit more, and then starting to actually get in, like take the recycled products back to the recycling centre to be able to send it over to the processing factory, and that's what it is, not the electronic factory. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing for the electronic city. If you like this video, please subscribe and actually like the video. That would help a lot. And go check out my channel for a couple more videos like this. Also got some SimCity gameplay and some gameplay from other games. But I was Rhys, and peace out.